For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble, and spring is in the air, or is it? I guess it depends on where you live right now, right? But this is the time where people kind of start to get that feeling like, I need to clear out some stuff from my house. It's time to just, lighten the load of our closets, of our drawers, of our basement, of our attic, of our whatever. And maybe the kitchen, maybe the fridge, maybe the kitchen needs a bit of work. Well, I'm going to tell you about the fun that I had with my husband the other day, because you probably, unless you're neurotic, unless you really keep an inventory of your fridge, you might have that little package of sauce where you're wondering, when did we get this? How long has this been in here? Is it worth risking it? Should we open it? Do we just leave it? Do we just forget about it, pretend we don't see it, or do we throw it out? That's what we're talking about on The Scribble today as we head into spring cleaning season. It's on The Scribble, and it starts right after this.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. Yeah, spring cleaning is it's a term that I knew when I was growing up, because it was just something that, first of all, we had to do it at my elementary school for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think it was maybe just to get us into that habit of getting rid of crap that you don't need or want, right? We would do that. We'd go around the classroom. We'd have to clean out our desks or whatever it was. And, you kind of lighten up your load of, what you're holding on to. So it's also a different story than when you are a kid living at your parents' house, because you want to have as much as possible, right? Because it's not as much as you might want it to be. It's not your house. It's not your furniture. It's right. It's your parents' stuff. It's not actually yours. So you want to have as many possessions as possible because that makes you feel better, right? So then when you move on in life and you have your own place, right? And this is where we can debate the whole home ownership and how you're going to have to be, 65 to buy a house at the prices these days. But for me, I bought my house when I was 25 years old. And, again, it's a very large house for, at the time, one person. And that was something great because I was like, I've got this big house. Yeah, but then crap, I've got to fill it with stuff, don't I? Mm-hmm. So it's great to have an entire, I've got an upstairs, a main floor, a basement. So there's 2 bedrooms on the main floor. I made one into an office. The other one literally just sat empty. I had a spare bedroom on the main floor that was nothing. An empty room. The basement, I had no furniture. People were saying to me like, oh, well, you can make a rec room. You can put a couch down there, TV. And I'm like, well, that's what the living room is on the main floor. I didn't need that. Upstairs, my bedroom, is a big loft area, and Bonnie, our executive producer, was like, oh, you can get maybe like a futon or something. You can have like a little sitting area. And I was like, again, that's the living room, And then people would use the term, you could like a man cave and you can do all this stuff. I'm like, but the man cave is a place where you're supposed to. Now, it's typically, it's traditionally the straight guy, right? So it's to get away from the wife and the kids or whatever, and you go to your man cave, whatever. And I'm like, it's just me living in my house. Like, why do I need that in the basement too? Like, I got the living room. So it's then you feel sort of this obligation to start filling up your house because I've got all this space. Now, I never did that though. Instead, I had the new stuff that I was getting, right? I had to buy a couch. I had to get all those kinds of things. But then I started to acquire some of the things from my parents' house then, the things that I left behind. So it could just be anything, right? It could be, I left my, my lava lamps and just other things that I had left there when I moved out. And then you pick up some things along the way. But there's something that's really weird in my house. Now, because my husband is a fitness trainer and a fitness model, we're kind of particular about the foods and things that we have in the fridge and in the cupboards. But do you ever, I hope you can relate, otherwise I just feel stupid. But do you start to acquire a bunch of like little packages of salad dressings or ketchup, or just when you order food, or so we do that, if we order, let's say we order pizza and they give you the little extra pizza sauce, dip the breadsticks or something, right? We get that little container. Or if you buy, if you get one of those not prepackaged, like the pre-washed salads, sometimes that comes with, a Caesar dressing or some kind of dressing inside. Well, we already have a bottle of dressing in the fridge that we use. So you take that little package out, you throw it in the fridge for some other time. Same thing with barbecue sauce, right? If you buy packages of chicken wings or something, sometimes you might get a barbecue sauce or a spicy sauce or just something. And you put that in so then we've got that on the door or wherever. You might have a little drawer. And so we did that last weekend, where it was we did sort of like a spring cleaning, because it's stuff where if you're sitting there going, did that come in a packaged box? Now, obviously, if it's just in like a sealed plastic container, okay, well, it was with a pizza delivery. If we don't remember when that was, chances are it might not be good anymore. But, some of these sauces, right, the dressings or whatever it is, it doesn't have a date on it or, whatever, because the date was on the actual package of the salad bag. So we're sitting there going, do we even know if this is ranch? Is it Caesar? Is it blue cheese? Is it like what kind of dressing is it? We don't even, if it's not labeled, there's no date. I'm not saying that we're going to poison ourselves, but it's kind of just like, maybe we should just throw it out. Maybe it's not. And I'm not much of a cleaner, right? We have somebody that cleans our house, but there's something that's very gratifying when you just start to throw things out. Now, I watch Hoarders on A&E. I've seen that show. I find it fascinating that people hold on to so many things and they collect. And I realize it's also, it's a disorder. It's not always laziness, but I think sometimes it is. But there's something weird about when you just kind of start to clean, you throw out that first, 2, 3 things, 4 things, then you just get into this rhythm where then you're just wanting to throw out everything. And that's what it was, where I was kind of like, not that we have a super stocked fridge to begin with, but it's all these things that every time we open and we see these packages of dressing or whatever on the door or whatever, and we just never think to do anything with it. So it's not necessarily laziness so much as just kind of whatever. It's just there, right? It's not bothering anybody. It's not like it's taking up space and we don't have room for anything. But you just kind of look at it and go, I don't know what flavor I don't know what dressing that is. Is that barbecue sauce or is that marinara? Is it pizza sauce? Like what? I don't know what it is. What is it? So when in doubt, throw it out is my philosophy. You lessen the opportunity of food poisoning. You just, I don't know. Maybe on the flip side, you could make even a game out of it. You can just take a whole bunch of the shit that you have in your fridge and go, let's just use this as a salad. We don't know what it is. We don't know what flavor, but here we've got some random chicken fingers in the freezer. We've got this kind of a dressing, or what looks like chicken. Maybe it's just a bag of something breaded. I don't know what it is, and you make a game out of it. Now, if you end up getting food poisoning, go to a hospital. Don't blame me. I'm not liable for what you're doing in your own house. I'm just saying that just maybe pick up a slow weekend. Maybe you need your stomach pumped. Why not? Go for it. So we did that. So we cleaned out the fridge, and it just became kind of like, all right. And then, so this is what we do. So then we go to just on the outside of our bathroom, or not just on outside, around the corner from our bathroom there's a closet in this hallway, and this is another place. It just has a ton of stuff. And it could be even just random things. Like it would be, our two previous dogs, like we've got two different dogs now, but our two previous dogs, when they were going through health, like one had an eye infection that ultimately he died from, and then the other one had a blood disease. So like, medications and things like that. So all of these things that we had from the vet, you sort of stockpile them, because I was like, well, we have two other dogs now, so maybe they would need something. So that did come in handy. It's come in handy because we had a golden retriever before. We have one now. They get, either ear infections or they get hot spots or whatever. So that is something that you could use from one dog to the next, right? You can use the same solution to, clean their skin or whatever. But some of these other things, I'm just looking and going, that was from like 14 years ago when the dog had such and such problem. I mean, again, the medication could work. Do I want to risk it though? Probably not. So this closet, because we moved it from the medicine cabinet. Like when I lived on my own before my husband came around, I was throwing all the dog medications in my medicine cabinet. So then when he finally eventually moves into my house, he's like, you've got a lot of... No, these are the dogs. This is not my medication. This is stuff for the dogs. And he's like, but why do you keep it in your bathroom medicine cabinet? The medicine cabinet is for your stuff, for your pain reliever, for your, toothbrush or toothpaste or whatever, not dog meds. Why are they in the... And I said, that's a very good point. I don't know why. I just thought because it was medication, so it just goes in there. He's like, why are you keeping your dog shit in your bathroom? So I compromised, like, and you do in a good relationship, and so I moved into the closet. But what I'm saying is this closet now has just tons of stockpiled stuff. So it's not like it's hoarding. It's just kind of, we have it. So again, I mean, I've paid $300 for this dog medication. I'm not just going to go and throw it out. And you don't think that, especially in that scenario, you don't go, okay, well, the dog's dead. Now I'm going to throw this stuff out, because it's out of sight, out of mind. I didn't remember that it was in there. I just, but when you actually start to dig through things, right? And so you probably do have that drawer in your kitchen or that closet in your house somewhere. And then once you kind of do that deep dive, so then I was just on a roll. And I'm, just finding out. And again, it was like, oh, this bed sheet. I think my mom gave it to me 16 years ago now when I moved into my house. I didn't know I had it. Didn't even know that I've never, but it was just, I'm just guessing because it looked like something she would have had in the house, or a pillowcase or something. Well, I haven't used it all this time because I bought my own or and so yeah, once you just kind of get into that mode, you just start cleaning and you just start going. And so that was kind of our sort of fun. Again, like I said, it's not necessarily spring cleaning, but it was just, why do we have this? Like, let's just go through this crap. And on the flip side, you do discover that when you're going through your other cupboards, sometimes you have that, bag of chips or box of crackers or something, and you're like, I don't remember buying this. And then you go, they're so stale. They're so stale and gross. But are you one of those people where you feel guilty throwing it out because you're wasting the food that you paid for? Or is it like, just it's got to go. It's got to go. We have a very weird household. I'm not even going to try to lie. But it works for us. We have a great time together. We love each other, but it's very strange. The same thing happened. So I was talking about all that space that I have, in different rooms, empty rooms, whatever. So when I made an office, I have, years, like 20 some years ago, I worked at Party City as an assistant manager. Party City eventually closed in Canada. And when we were liquidating, when we were getting rid of everything, I guess the word would be stole. We stole a bunch of things from the office. I have a filing cabinet in my home office that we basically backed up to a vehicle one night and took. So I acquired a whole bunch of decorations, and so I know that I've got this closet in my office at home, obviously, and but it's not anything that I ever go into. I just don't. I just know that it's a place where I'm kind of like, well, where can I put this? I'll just throw it in there. So same situation where I go and I look and I started to dig through it. I took one of the shopping baskets. It's a green shopping basket. And in it, I've got like happy anniversary balloons and different types of confetti and a whole bunch of pens, markers, and there were some glow sticks. Like just things that, one, I don't even remember taking. I remember taking things just like sort of in general, but like anniversary balloons, I'm sitting there going, why would I have taken anniversary balloons? Like I was single. I don't know. I wasn't throwing anniversary parties for anybody. Why did I take these things? I don't know. I just did it. So there are some things though where you kind of sort of hang on to it because it was. I found it. I was on the cover or the front page of the newspaper for a Halloween thing at Party City too. I didn't realize. I don't even remember. I remember the costume. I was dressed as a prisoner, and so I remember wearing that there. But I don't remember the newspaper coming in and taking a picture and being on the front page of the paper. So when I was going through my Party City basket of goodies, all of a sudden there it was. So it made me smile, right? It's kind of fun to take that walk down memory lane and remember. But then, like I said, it was just confusing as hell because I'm like, I don't remember getting this stuff. Like, when did this... Really? Why did I... And then you're trying to piece it together. So it's kind of fun how... it's freeing. And then you look at it and go, "This is just fun." So that's how we spent a better part of the weekend. I was going to say the weekend, and then I was like a few hours, but no, it was most of the weekend. It was just sort of funny. Now, because it's my house and I've lived in it for so long, I obviously have more accumulated, or I've got more stuff that I've acquired. But even then, so when I'm finding things, and so then I go into a spare bedroom where I have even just other party decorations from when we would do photo shoots of my other dogs when I was on the radio. And he's like, "You've got this, it's like a remote controlled dog kind of a thing. I don't know. It's a children's toy, first and foremost. But so it's like it's got like a remote that you press and then it kind of I don't know how you describe it. Basically, you're holding a leash, and you press the button, and the dog goes forward, right? And then you press the down button, and then it comes back. So this was something that I guess was given to me or whatever, and I don't remember where it came from or when. I think I remember taking a picture of one of the other dogs with it back in the day, but again, those dogs have been dead for years, so and I don't know what to do with it. So again, it's that same situation where... Do we donate this? Do we just throw it out? Would anybody want this? I don't know what we do with it. So in that instance, what happened with it? We just left it in the closet. We didn't make a decision either way on it. It's just kind of, you know what? It's here. It's not hurting anybody. It's not a sauce that's going to poison anybody. Maybe it's got batteries that could explode at some point. But so there were some things that we did just kind of... We won't deal with this today. Not a big deal. We don't know. Do we know a little? Because this dog thing seemed like it would be... Here's where I'm going to get in trouble for genderizing or whatever the word is. It just seemed like it would be a toy for girls. But, I mean, hey, I was a boy, and I'm a man now, right? I'm a man. But I don't know, maybe I would have liked that as a kid. I don't know. But it seemed like it was a very girly, a very feminine toy. And so I'm just like, do I know any young little girls that would like this? I don't know. It's a used toy, right? It's not like it's in a box or anything. Do you just give it to Goodwill? Like, I don't know what to do with it. So we just decided to leave it there. But have you done this? Have you ever just all of a sudden gone on a full-on spring cleaning? Or just going into the fridge and be like, where did this little random package of ranch dressing or honey mustard or something? When did we order this? Is it still good? Should we try it? Is it worth the risk? Send me an email. Tell me live@jbonair.com. Live@jbonair.com. Talking more about household chores on the Scribble when we come back right after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
JB here, back on the Scribble. Again, I guess spring cleaning, like I said, is sort of the term that we all know. We get what we're talking, you get what I'm saying when I mention that. And again, we have a big house, especially for two of us, so there's still plenty of room for us to acquire things. We don't want to get into that habit, of course. We don't want to turn into a hoarder's house and be featured on A&E. Though it was interesting because the last season, or 2 seasons ago, it was funny because we were watching the show and all of a sudden at the very beginning, it pops up the city and the city in the state or the city in the province, and it said Winnipeg, Manitoba. And I was like, are you kidding? That's our, where is it? What neighborhood is that? And then we ended up Googling and we typed in like Hoarders Winnipeg or something to find out that it had in fact taped in the neighborhood and people were talking about it on social media. But we have this rule now where it's sort of like the salad dressings and whatever. It's like if we don't remember it, and I think they sort of do the same thing on Hoarders is, have you used this in the past 6 months? If you haven't, do you need it? Like, what's the point of keeping it? There's no sense in that. And so that's something that I do in my house. If it's a situation where something is taking up space, for instance, in a drawer or in a fridge or whatever, and my mom will constantly find things in her and like in my parents' house. Remember, I haven't lived with my parents in over 16 years. So the fact that she is still, maybe she found, one of my school backpacks in a closet in the basement. It's just my parents in the house now. My brothers and myself have long moved on. But she might be doing these cleaning out things and then find something that I had made in school or, whatever. And so she'd called me over. She said, you know what, come for dinner, one night or one weekend or whatever, and we're going to go through the drawers of your bed. When my brothers moved out, they got their kids' beds. You have the bed with like the drawers in the bottom. That we all had that. So my brothers got their beds, but I didn't for some reason. I'm thinking that it was a homophobia thing where it's like they're going to have kids so they can take their beds. Jeremy, you're going to be a big old homo. You're not going to have kids, so you can't take the bed. And that's fine. Whatever. So, and I don't have company. We don't have company over to our house anyway, so it's not like we need, what are we going to do with a kid's bed, randomly in a room? So it actually worked out where I'm kind of like, I'm sort of glad I didn't take that bed. But anyway, it's still in my old bedroom upstairs in their house, and they don't really, use that room or anything. The grandkids are, too old for sleepovers or whatever now. But it was interesting because she said, we're going to go through the drawers of that bed. And I mean, how big are those drawers, right? And really, what did you have as a kid? You don't have too many things, but look through it, see what you want, So we had dinner or whatever. And then she's like, okay, let's go to the room. So we opened the first drawer, and I was obsessed with Wheel of Fortune as a kid. So there were little pieces like from the board game, or there was just some kind of like a crafty thing. I used to get those little like pom-pom like fuzz balls and the googly eyes. And so I would make, I put a little nose on it. And so I would make those kinds of things. There was a bunch of that stuff. But it was really funny because when I was growing up, for Christmas, my mom would get me, it was called a dinky diary. I don't know. It was sort of like it was a diary of sorts, but I would write things about, boys or, whatever. No, it wasn't like a Dear Diary today, blah, blah, but I would say like, there was a girl in elementary school named Melanie, and Melanie was, my first girlfriend. So, I mean, things like that. But then I would write about boys eventually at a certain time. So every year in my dinky diary or whatever kind of a diary, and this was at the back of one of the drawers. And then when you're in junior high, and again, this is back in the day when you're writing notes to, it was girls. I wasn't writing notes to boys, but you'd get a note stuck in your locker. So then you'd go and be like, oh, somebody's leaving me notes. I don't know who it is, but whatever. And then it'll say like, leave this, what it'll say? It'll say like, leave this behind, like the water fountain, or leave me a note, whatever. And so you would go and do it. And so I would have all these notes. And again, same kind of a thing where I would have a girlfriend and, you'd leave notes from back and forth. And it was kind of funny because I was sort of embarrassed because, you're sitting there with your mom and she's like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know, just notes, whatever. So I took them. I didn't say, oh, just throw. So I took them because I thought I'm going to have a laugh at these when I get home. And so sure enough, I start to go through, and they're always folded nicely, like a weird kind of a fold. Again, this is something that teenagers did. You just knew how to fold them or whatever. And it would be like, Amanda really likes you. Like, why don't you ever talk to Amanda? And I'm thinking, wow, because I kind of thought Amanda's friend Sarah was the cute one. And I'm just totally serious. I didn't like this girl, Amanda, but I kind of liked her friend. And like, is that just weird to be? And then I'm a big old homo all these years later. I mean, I think I knew I was gay, but, well, I'm fairly certain I was gay. But you just sort of do it because that was kind of the thing, you know? It's like, oh, I'll try to, I'll ask a girl to the dance or whatever. Why not? But it was just really funny to kind of see how it was so innocent, right? Why don't you ever talk to her? She's always smiling at you. Why don't you ever? And I can only imagine what the kids are writing now, right? Now they're asking if you're down to fuck and you want to Netflix and chill in junior high. It wasn't that kind of a time when I was going to school. But it was really interesting to kind of go through these drawers and find they weren't love notes. I don't know what you call them. Just teenage notes to people. And then we had this thing, again, I'm speaking to people my age, in their 40s, but we had that where you would have that MASH game where, right? MASH, mansion, apartment, shack, house. And then I don't remember what you would do. You would do like 10 strokes or 10 lines or 7 lines, 8 lines, and you'd go around and you would cross off things, and then it was always the last one. So MASH. So you crossed off the ASH and you just had the M, and so you were going to live in a mansion. And then you had the girls on the one side, and it's like, oh, it's going to be with Jessica. And then you had whatever, how many kids it was going to be. You guys have to look this up because I'm pretty sure this was just something that kids did. You played the MASH game and what it was. So I had all those kinds of things. And then talk about how chauvinistic and misogynistic we were as teenage boys, the big old fag that I was. We were rating the girls on hotness, and I would keep not a chart, but like I guess it was like a tally kind of a sheet where Greg rated Amanda as a 7, Miles rated Amanda as a 6, Tyler rated so-and-so as a 7. And I thought, this is really funny because here I am, the gay guy who's sort of spearheading the straight boys rating the girls. But that was, I guess, my connection to the guys. This is how I can sort of hit it off with them or bond with them, be friends with them. Was you guys rate the girls. I'll be the note taker. I will be the clerk. I'll make notes. I'll keep the log. But it was my idea. I do remember asking them, like, what, maybe that was just my cover, right, to pretend to be a straight boy. But yeah, I was spearheading the straight boys rating the girls and their boobs too. That was something else. You were rating Amanda's tits, you were rating Pam's tits and Lisa's tits and Jessica's tits and whatever. Oh my god, what a sexist homosexual I was, eh? Oh, so unfair to the ladies. Anyway, so that's enough of a walk down memory lane because I'm just laughing now because my head is going in 30 different directions about just the stupid things that, how you grow up, especially as a gay guy, objectifying these girls, and then come to find out it's like we actually really like the boys to begin with. So tell me about your again. Just share a story. I don't even know, about just something silly that you did that you look back and go, wow. Because we certainly couldn't do that nowadays. You would not be able to be sitting there and keeping a tally of how hot the girls are, and somebody discovers that. That just would not fly at all. My email address, live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
All right, we're out of time. That was fun today. I don't know. I always enjoy doing this show, but I seem to be extra laughy and it's too much fun. All right, feel free to give me a shout anytime. It's always awesome hearing from you. The email address, once again, is live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. I will talk to you same time, same place next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, subscribing, and all that fun stuff. And next week, we'll do it again. It's a date. Talk to you then. Bye-bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some